There are 1,000 different ways that you can get fined or sued as a web designer. And a lot of these things I didn't even know about until just recently. And it's got me pretty scared. And so I wanted to make this video. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but this could possibly be the most important video you watch as a web designer, because this is going to ensure that you don't get smacked somewhere down the road by a $10, $50, even $100,000 fine. So listen closely. So did you know that you can get fined thousands of dollars for using a contact form on your website without using specific wording in your privacy policy page? Or did you know that you could find yourself in a nasty lawsuit if you take your terms and conditions page and your privacy policy page and try to squish them into one page titled legal? These are things that you might never have heard about, but they do leave you liable to these different fines and lawsuits. And I want to make sure that we can help you avoid all of these things. Now, the scary thing about us as web designers is not only do we have to make sure that our own websites are following these laws, but also that our clients are as well. And so this video is going to show you everything that you need to know to not only avoid these horrible situations, but also possibly generate a little bit of recurring revenue by doing it the right way. Now, privacy laws are built to protect the user, not the website or the company, meaning that if somebody in a different state or country visits my website, I better make sure that I'm abiding by the privacy laws of that location in which they live. And if I don't, I'm leaving myself open for a potential fine or lawsuit. Now, just recently, I heard a horror story from my friend Hans at Termageddon where a marketing agency was fined $50,000 for not abiding by GDPR, a privacy law which protects the data from residents of the EU. And these types of things are happening more and more often. Now, if you don't believe me, you can go to enforcementtracker.com and scroll through all of the recent fines that have been enforced because of these privacy policy violations. Now, when I heard about all of this, I had a little bit of a panic attack because I had no idea how important these privacy laws were or how strictly they were starting to be enforced. And this is something that's going to pick up steam over the coming years, and I predict that within a few short years, it is going to become extremely commonplace that web designers and agencies and companies with websites find themselves in nasty lawsuits and getting hit with these fines, because not only are they being more strictly enforced, but with things like this, there are always people that are looking to make a quick buck and are going to be targeting websites like yours that don't abide by these laws. All right, so now that we're sufficiently scared, I want to spend the next few minutes showing you what you can do to protect yourself, to protect your clients, and also make a little bit of recurring revenue along the way. Now, I think it's important that I remind you that I am not an attorney and this is not legal advice, but I have done a lot of research on this over the past several weeks, and I've also met with some of the most well-known privacy experts in the world. And so this has helped me find the best solution to protect myself and my agency as well as my clients. All right, so like I mentioned before, pretty much every website now is collecting user data, whether that's name, email, IP address. If you're tracking anything and utilizing that data, you need to make sure that you specify that in your privacy policy. And if you don't, you can get fined. Now, the scary part is those fines start at $2,500 per user whose data rights were being infringed upon. And so that can add up really, really quickly if you have a lot of users coming to your site. So we need to make sure that we are really careful with this. Now, because there are so many privacy laws out there in so many different countries and states, it's almost impossible to stay up to date on all of them. And it would literally take a team of full-time employees tracking all of these updates. And for this reason, a lot of attorneys won't even touch privacy laws because they're so complex and there are so many different ways that you can miss important laws and miss important details in your privacy policy, and it can lead to you getting fined or sued. Now, it's for this reason that we recently started using a tool called Termageddon. Termageddon is a privacy policy generator that basically handles all of the heavy lifting for you. So you don't have to worry about the legalities of your privacy policy and the privacy policies of your clients' websites, okay? Now, Termageddon was founded by an agency owner like you and I, and also one of the most well-renowned privacy attorneys in the country. And so they've got a lot of great experience with what it takes to cover yourself legally and make sure that you're abiding by all of these laws. So let's talk a little bit about how Termageddon works. First, Termageddon is going to walk you through a questionnaire that's going to help you identify all of the laws that apply to you. It's going to make this really simple. You don't have to have any prior knowledge about the legalities of these things, but Termageddon is going to help get you set up with a privacy policy that works for you. Now, the cool thing about these privacy policies is you embed this code within your privacy policy page, and then it auto updates, meaning that Termageddon is going to do all of the research and make sure that your privacy policy is always up to date, including new laws that get passed every month and every year. This way, you don't have to stress about it, but you know that there's an expert behind your privacy policy that's protecting you. Now, Termageddon has a lot of other really cool features that help relieve you of the responsibility of your client sites as well. One of the most important is the website policy waiver, and what this does is it waives your responsibility. So if you have a client website that ends up getting in legal trouble because they are not abiding by these privacy laws, you are not liable for what happens next. This is a free waiver that you can send out to all of your clients, and they can sign it saying Peyton and his agency do not hold any responsibility for our privacy violations, whatever they might be down the road. So these types of tools, Termageddon makes it really easy to use them. And again, the goal of this is so you don't have to stress about these things. Because for me, there's so many different things that I'm trying to focus on, whether that's growing my business, fulfilling client projects, whatever it is. The last thing I need to be worrying about is going to law school to try to figure out all of these privacy laws. All right, so now let's talk about how you can use Termageddon. If you are a freelancer or an agency, you can actually go apply and get yours completely free. And then once you're accepted as a partner, you can then resell other licenses to your clients, giving you a small recurring kickback. So even if you don't plan to sell this to your clients, go apply and sign up as an agency, and you're going to get everything that we've talked about completely free. So if you want to do this, go to termageddon.com/Peyton. And once you do this, and if you're approved, you're going to receive 2 free licenses, one for yourself and then one that you can resell or gift to one of your clients. So if you are a solo business with only one website, you can click this link above or down in the description, and you're going to be able to get 30% off by using code PCS. Now, I want to make sure you know that I am an affiliate of Termageddon, and while it is something that I do truly believe in, I do get a small affiliate kickback if you use my code. And so if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I still would highly recommend getting in, signing up with Termageddon, and getting your site protected. Now, I know that privacy laws are not the most fun thing to talk about, but I promise you, if you take just a minute today to get this set up, especially if you're an agency because it's free for you, someday far down the road, you're going to think back and you're going to thank me for connecting you with Termageddon, because they are the best solution to cover yourself and all the legalities that come along with being a web designer or an agency or anyone that has a website. So again, click the links down below to go get set up with Termageddon. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I look forward to catching y'all in the next video.